Hello and welcome to Drawing with Stephie. Today we're going to do something a little different. I thought I would just do some doodles. A lot of people like watching me draw on live stream, and I know a lot of you can't attend because I tend to do it during when everybody's at work. So I'm just going to do a little bit of doodles. It's kind of a bit of a demonstration or a little bit of a tutorial in the idea that you're watching someone else draw and you're seeing the steps they go through. So this is pretty much just an experiment. We'll see if people like it. I'll do another one. Of course, if you have questions or suggestions for future tutorials, please let me know. I'm not sure what I'm going to start drawing out today. I'm just going to do some thumbnails and see what goes from there. And hope you enjoy watching. Again, I'm using Paint Tool Sci. Let's see here. Whoops. My paper is 8.5 by 11, and it's 300 DPI. I like working at the highest resolution I can get away with because it just makes it easier. You can do more detail when you have a higher resolution. How about we do some Harry Potter? Yeah, let's try this. I like to move my paper around a lot. I mostly just do a lot of construction lines, kind of figure out where I want everything. I change it a lot as I'm doodling. It's okay to, just doodle until you figure out where you want everything. I don't always have a specific plan when I start out. And sometimes I just start over completely. I also made the screen a little bit bigger so you guys could see the tools on the side. It's probably a little hard to make out everything, but if you have questions about, which tools I'm using, feel free to leave me a message. And I switch colors just to make it easier. Help me figure out which lines are the relevant ones. Again, I'm not worried about outlines yet, I'm still just filling in the form. A little foreshortening here. Whee! And I flip it around sometimes just because, you know, some things are easier to draw from certain perspectives. It's still looking a little wonky, but that's okay. When you first start out, you know, if it's not exactly right, it's totally okay. You just play around with it until you get to where you want it. It's a little shorter. Move him over so we have a little bit more room on the paper. I'm going to erase my original drawing because I want to keep the background. And yet again, another layer. Now I'm going to start, you know, really focusing on the details. And I do the triangle to help me decide, you know, where the face is going to be. And kind of re-sketching it, he's a little lopsided, so. Work on fixing the proportions. And his arm a little bit too long, so I'm going to kind of redraw it here. Just going to move it over. That's why digital is really nice. Like, you kind of notice you've made a mistake, it's really easy to fix because you scoot it over. Oops. I'm going to move my canvas over here so I can get the scroll bar. Hands are kind of hard to draw. Make sure you pay attention to how long they are, because the ring finger is the long, well, not the ring finger, but the middle finger is the longest. This needs to be moved over now. And as you can see, I'm just breaking the form up into, lots of simpler shapes. I'm not worried about the contours. Mostly wanting to make sure I have the right proportions and perspective on everything. More foreshortening here. Make sure his body isn't too big. Heads should usually be about, or the torso should be about 3 heads tall. I need to move his head over though. Still need to fix that hand, but that's alright. There's a lot of corrections going on when I draw. It's okay to make mistakes if it's not perfect the first time out. You just keep playing with it until it looks right. And if you can't quite get it the way you want, just move on to something else for a little while. And a little bit of his little robe here. I'm just wearing some blue jeans here. Blue jeans like to, depending upon how loose or how tight, they have a lot of folds in them. especially around the knees. Kind of fake that part. Whoops. There we go. Again, save often. You never know when you're going to lose power or something's going to burp and you lose all the work you've done. Alright, I think I've got a good start here, so I'm going to start putting in some of those details. Make this kind of semi-toony. Since I mostly just want to sketch this, I'm not going to ink it, I'm going to move on to something else. So you guys can watch a variety of ways I go about drawing things. You know, that's one of the best things about this program is having the swivel. Because when I'm drawing on a piece of paper, I move it all over the place. So it's really great to have a program that can do that. Now, if I was trying to make this look more like the actor, I definitely would want to have some sort of reference, but this is just kind of supposed to be generic. Don't worry, I won't forget his glasses. Supposed to have some pretty wild hair. Give him a little bit of a cowlick here. I'm going to make another layer. So whenever I have to draw on top of something that I've already drawn, I like making sure I don't mess it up. There we go. And this other ear back there. There we go. Some more corrections on the fly. Add in some of the folds of his shirt here. Folds are one of those things that are kind of hard. They usually show up in kind of V shapes, but that's something you're just, if you want to learn how to be really good at drawing folds in clothing and fabric, you just have to study pictures of fabric, you know, and watch how it falls. And they're one of those things that's just practice. Go. You also want to consider the weight of fabric, you know, the way it'll, where the seams are. You know, sometimes fabric will fold a certain way due to the wind or how it's sewn, the type of fabric it's made out of. Again. Occasionally I'm changing the size of the brush. So I want to make sure the lines stay fairly thin. I don't want them too thick right now. I'm not doing any line weight at this point. I'm just wanting to get the figure and the basic shape in there. Yep, lots of flipping of the image. And I'm going to have to draw that hand now. I'm going to draw it on another layer again. That way I can manipulate it a little bit more, since I know this is part that I'm not the best at. Again, I'm still not 100% just doing an outline. I'm trying to fill it in. And it's a little low for what it needs to be, so that's something else I'm going to have to address. There we go. Alright, let's lift it up here so it's a little bit more where it needs to be. And zoom out. Sometimes you want to zoom out just so you can get a better look at the whole picture, make sure everything's the way you want it to be. I'm going to turn this a little bit. There we go. His thumb's a little long, so let's fix that. It's better than what it was, though. But as you can see, I've definitely changed it from the original sketch. You know, don't be afraid to change things. Even if you really like how it works. If it, you know, you like a specific part of the drawing, save it if you can. But you know, if it's not quite right, then you know, you can always save it for another drawing. And just redo it until it's the way you want it to be or the way it needs to be. There we go. Still seems a bit off, but I'm going to leave it alone for right now. I'll come back to it. I think I also made his arm a little bit too long, so we're going to shorten that up a little. Another layer so I can move the hand. I think that's a little bit off, so we're going to move that over just a tad. Make sure there's room for the rest of the palm there. Make it a little bit smaller. There we go. There we go. I'm drawing the wand. Probably should have drawn the wand first. I'm going to erase that and get his fingers in there again. I'm not too thrilled with that, so we'll try that again. So see, it does not magically just happen. There's a lot of fixing things, you know, when you're drawing. There we go. A little happier with that. Maybe a little longer, so shorten that up. And every so often, you know, when I'm happy with lines I have, especially if I've ended up with a whole bunch of them, I'll collapse the layers down. And then save again. Saving is important. Remember, save as a new file name. It looks like we're almost half an hour in already, so I think this is the only thing I'm going to sketch in this. Longest tutorial ever, but I'll do another one where I'm just, you know, doodling some other things quicker, hopefully. This shoe's a little bit big here, so we're going to shorten that up some. Drawing sneakers is hard. They're one of my least favorite things to draw is shoes. It's another one of those things I need to practice more with. There we go. Got seam in there. And a little bit of that side seam. Fun with folds. There we go. And then that other shoe. One of these days I'll study shoes so I can start drawing them better. There we go. Give him a watch or something there. Spurks. Woo. And let's put that background back in there a little bit more. Put some grass. It's in some spooky field. Maybe this is the Quidditch World Cup series when he's stuck in the field when the Death Eaters attacked. There we go. Put some clouds in there. And there is a quick doodle for you of Harry Potter. Woohoo! Of course, I would still continue to play with this some more, but I think half an hour worth of video is more than long enough at any given time. But I hope you have enjoyed this. I might play around with this some more later. But I'll try to do another doodle tutorial for you all later. I hope you've enjoyed this. And of course, if you'd like to see more of my art, please check it out at my DeviantArt account, most active there. It's at DeviantArt or lady-cybercat.deviantart.com. And I hope you have a great day. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.